Installing a pivot shower door is a straightforward project that will refresh the look and function of your bathroom. Most pivot doors are reversible and can be installed with the pivots on the right or left. Follow these simple steps to install a framed pivot shower door. The first step is to get exact measurements at the bottom of the door opening. Some shower doors may have a top track as well. Make sure to consult the instruction manual. Mark the measurement on the threshold track, then cut with a miter saw or a hacksaw and miter box. Smooth the cut end with a file and clean. Set aside the threshold track, as we will get back to this later. This unit comes with a fixed panel in addition to a pivoting door. We'll install the fixed panel first. To start, determine where you will drill the mounting holes by positioning the fixed panel wall jamb against the wall, making sure to leave about 1 inch of room from the edge. Use a level to make sure it's plumb. Tape down the fixed panel wall jamb and mark the mounting hole locations on the wall. The next step is to drill the mounting holes. For ceramic tile, use a 1/4 inch masonry drill bit for the holes. For fiberglass, use a 1/8 inch bit. Then tap the wall anchors in place with a rubber mallet. Secure the wall jamb with screws. Next, we will install the threshold track. First, dry fit the track into the fixed panel wall jamb, aligning evenly along the entire shower base. Mark the location. Apply 100% silicone sealant to the entire bottom edge of the track. Then position the threshold track on the marked location. Wipe any excess silicone off with a clean rag. Secure with tape. Once the threshold track is in, place the flat spacer seal into the threshold, making sure it meets the fixed panel wall jamb. Carefully insert the fixed panel into the wall jamb. The pivot wall jamb is made up of 2 components. Assemble the inner and outer pivot wall jambs together with openings facing one another. Place the wall jamb assembly over the threshold track. If needed, shape and file the bottom of the pivot wall jamb to fit against the base. Plumb the pivot wall jamb and mark the top and bottom edges of the assembly. Next, remove the assembly from the wall and position the outer wall jamb against the wall, aligning with the top and bottom marks. Secure the outer wall jamb with masking tape and mark the holes. Remove the pivot wall jamb and drill holes similar to the fixed plane jamb. Insert anchors and secure the outer pivot jamb to the wall with screws. Next, we will work on prepping the pivot door. Carefully set the pivot panel on its side, with the hinge bracket facing up, and fully press the pivot pin into the hinge panel. Spread the bushing sleeve over the pivot pin and continue until fully on the hinge bracket. Finally, install the inner wall jamb onto the hinge bracket, making sure the pivot jamb is flush with the pivot pin. For ease of installation, screw in the washer and nut to secure the inner wall jamb. We are now ready to install the pivot door. Position the setting block 2 inches from the fixed panel. From bottom up, insert the inner wall jamb attached to the pivot door into the outer wall jamb. Once secure, remove the washer and nut, making sure that the pivot panel rests securely on the setting block. Make any adjustments necessary to make sure the panels are aligned. While still inside the shower, drill pilot holes at the hole locations on the pivot wall jamb and secure with screws. Open the door. Remove the setting block. With the door in place, you're ready to add the finishing details. Attach the seal strip to the bottom of the fixed panel door and cut it to the required length if necessary. Install the L bracket clamp by fully pressing the clamp over the fixed panel. Mark the holes. Remove the clamp and drill holes with a 1/4 inch bit. insert anchors, and secure the clamp with screws. Snap on the cover to the L bracket. Install the threshold cover, making sure the cover slopes inwards towards the shower. Slip on the magnetic seals and attach any door handles or towel bars. When you're ready to install your own pivot shower door, here's what you'll need. Good luck, and thanks for shopping at the Home Depot.